And Studio 10 is back, folks. Last month we told you how the folks at Progress Energy Florida are helping their customers save on their power bills with their free home energy checks.
Well, they're back, and they brought home with them this morning to demonstrate some of their energy-saving tips and tricks that can help you save money regardless of who your energy provider may be. Please welcome, everyone, John Masiello and John Sears from Progress Energy Florida. Hey, guys.
Hey,
thanks for bringing the house with you.
Well, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, I don't think we've had guests bring in so many props and so many large props. These are actual working things that you find inside the house here. This is an air handler, obviously. What do we need to know about this?
Well, this is what you see in your garage or in an attic, and what we're demonstrating to our customers. And in fact, this is all part of an educational module that we're doing to bring out to our customers. So it's sort of a Mr. Wizard approach, so they can see and learn and touch on where energy loss occurs in our home and how we can maybe lower those energy bills. So I'm going to ask John if he would sort of start this up for us.
Should we crank it up?
So we'll get it going.
Let's get it going. Okay. Step right in there.
And they've started it just like you would start it at your own home.
So if you can imagine now, this is in the garage. This is your air handler. There's the other unit outside. That's your condensing unit. But we're going to worry about this. And this represents the duct system, the system that allows the air to come through. It's cooled inside the air handler, and then it's pushed out through the house. This ductwork is normally located in the attic. John's going to show you the types of leaks that we see in this distribution system. So John, if you would, just take that. I don't know if you can see that smoke.
Can you get a close up there, Greg? On the
Look at that.
That's not really smoke.
You can see it.
That's what is that?
Titanium tetrachloride. It's a heatless smoke.
Heatless smoke.
So that we can actually show, think of the hot, humid air in the home or your garage, represented by that smoke, just being sucked into this air handler. That's all the leaks taking that hot air in. Now it's going to cool that hot, humid air and send it through the house. That's all energy loss.
It's so hard to do that.
Should you seal that off down there?
That should be all sealed.
Okay. With now, like caulking or something? Or?
There's a special mastic, like you see here, that has to be done properly. So there is a science to this. If you can imagine then this duct system being up in your attic, and let's take a look at what a supply leak might look like. So if you take the smoke again, can you see that smoke being blown away at you?
Yeah.
That's what's happening in your attic.
So you're just blowing cold air into the attic?
Just blowing all that energy that was used to cool that extra hot air that shouldn't be going in below is then lost up in the attic.
So now we're air conditioning the attic.
Right. And if it was water, you'd see stains.
So how do you fix that, though?
Again, this mastic here, there's a special fabric that goes on first, and then a mastic. It's like a paste, and that'll seal it, and it'll last forever.
You gave us a shocking statistic about how much energy gets wasted just on heating and cooling your home because of leaks like this.
That's right. If you can imagine, close to a third of the energy that we use to heat and cool our homes is lost through leaks like we just demonstrated. And then it gets worse than that. Most times we take things like bleach, volatile organic compounds, and we leave them near our air handlers. And that is also being sucked into the system and then distributed throughout the house.
So we're also distributing toxins to our family.
That's right. If you're storing things like that near there. Now, Progress Energy has a program to help our customers. We'll first identify where those leaks are. And it's a science to finding those leaks. As you know, they're not easily accessible, and you have to find exactly where they're located. And then we even have contractors and incentives to help you pay and fix those leaks.
Step on over here and show us. You've got a very elaborate setup here in regard to energy savings here. Gentlemen, show us what we've got going on here. I see we've got the standard incandescent bulbs and then the CFLs, the newer kind.
This one here, what we're showing is this is the traditional bulb that we see, the incandescent bulb. And this would be, it's similar in the amount of light it puts out in a compact fluorescent. If you look at the energy that they're drawing, and I'm not sure you can see that, but this one here, the incandescent, is drawing about 56 watts.
Okay.
Where that compact fluorescent is drawing somewhere around 12 watts or so.
And it even looks a little brighter.
It probably does look a little brighter. If you feel this, you can feel the heat that's being wasted. You feel this, there's very little heat being wasted. So all of its energy is going into light. So this is going to use about a fourth of the power this one's using. So that's a pretty significant savings. If you can get the same amount of light for a quarter of the cost, it certainly makes sense to do.
Hey, and John, tell us what those little boxes are that you've got the lights plugged into, because I didn't know you could go out and buy these. Explain what these are exactly.
It's a little box. It's called Kilowatt. You can get them online. There's various places that you can get them. And essentially all they are is you take and plug the device in, and then they'll actually show you what they're using. This is a good example of something we now hear a lot of talk about, and that's the phantom loads, the vampire loads, where you have something plugged in, you're not using it, but it's still pulling power. This is a good example. You're all familiar with this. This is a typical cable box.
Right.
Some are larger. Well, this particular one is pulling about 12 watts. I don't know if you could see that.
And it's off right now.
And it's off.
Yeah.
So even with the television off, with even the box off, it's still pulling 12 watts.
And we talked a little bit about this, John, before the show, too, and you were saying that really all we're paying for with that extra leaving it in all the time is the convenience of having it ready to go and not have to boot.
Exactly. It'd take about another minute or so if it was unplugged to warm up. So for that premium, this comes to about $1 a month. So maybe $12 a year it's costing you just to keep that one.
And that's one appliance
That's
in
one.
one room of the house.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you've got multiple boxes, I mean, multiply that out, and
Absolutely.
over the course of a year,
It gets quite high.
You could go out to dinner for that, certainly, on the savings.
So there are many things that we can do, from the duct repair, which is a little more extensive, to something like this, which is just pulling a plug out. And then go further. This is an example of wrapping a water heater.
Which is also a great Halloween costume, too, by the way. Go as water heater, man. This is awesome.
And wrapping maybe the first 5 feet of pipe that come off. They're both the hot and cold, would be beneficial to do.
You were saying the old-style water heater has the old asbestos-type insulation inside, but if you've got the newer kind with the foam, you won't need to do this, but
Right.
you should still wrap your pipes.
Right. The older kind would have like fiberglass inside of it, and the better insulation is foam. So if yours is foam lined, you really don't need to do this. But the pipes still need to be done.
Now, do you have to do all the pipes? I mean, all the way up like to the ceiling?
Actually, you want to get at least the first 5 feet. That's where the greatest loss is going to be, and that would be the most cost effective.
This is just, that makes so much sense. It's sort of like a koozie for your pipes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, you're providing insulation for your pipes.
That's a good point.
You should do the hot and cold pipes, not just the hot
Yeah,
pipe?
because quite frankly, what ends up happening is you get a little bit of that thermal siphon that takes place, so that even the cold will begin to radiate some of that heat from the stored water in here.
Okay, let's take a look at these guys down here then.
So if you can imagine this is the insulation. It comes in various colors and shapes. The difference is some of them have to be maybe a little more compressed than others, but there is a proper density for insulation. If you flip it up too much, the air is going to move through it. It's not going to be a good insulator. If you compress it, like what happens even over time, it loses that ability to store and capture air, which is in fact the insulator. So if you go up into your attic and you're seeing any one of these types of insulation, this is represented by a 2x4, which is a floor joist, a ceiling joist in a home. With that, you would have an insulation level about an R11. And we want to see an R19 or an R30.
You need about double the thickness you got right here.
At least double the thickness of that there.
John, this is some tremendous information. Unfortunately, we are completely out of time, but of course we can hook you up with Progress Energy. Just go to studio10.tv and schedule your free home energy check. How about that?
That's right.
Completely free. Remember, you're wasting about a third of your heating and cooling bill just going out into the air if you've got leaks in your system.
All you have to do to schedule your check is call the number on your screen, 888-302-8348. You can go to studio10.tv or SaveTheWatts.com if you missed any of this today.